Hi, everyone. I'm Sam Wilson Jr., and this is the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast, the music podcast on where I interview singers and musicians from genres of black music: gospel, jazz, blues, old school classic soul, old school hip hop, today's hip hop and R&B, Caribbean, Latin, Afrobeat, Afro-Latina, blue-eyed soul, disco, go-go, line dances, and the Lost 45s. So come with me as I take you on to a trip to the destination genre of black music right now on the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast. Legal Shield is a proud sponsor of the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast. Have you been involved in any types of accidents? Have you been a victim of identity theft? Have you been a victim of a computer fraud scam? Have you been in disputes with your tenants or landlords? If your loved one dies and they didn't write up a will for you or for your family, or you and your spouse are filing for divorce, or if you need help by opening up your small business, give Legal Shield a try. Visit their website at LegalShield.com and tell them you heard it here on the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast. Do it today. You'll be glad you did. Welcome to the Black Soul Music Experience. I'm Sam Wilson Jr., and I have a special guest on my show, and it's today's hip-hop and R&B episode. Now, this gentleman that I'm about to introduce is one of the new groups coming out of Houston, Texas, and their new song, Forever, which is playing on right now on YouTube. I also checked out some of the other songs, including Can't Get Enough, Say That, Love of My Life, and the remake of Jeffrey Osborne's Only Human. And you can check it out right now on iTunes. Please help me welcome to the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast one of the members of Sentury, that spells with the letter S-E-N-T-U-R-Y, and his name is Leo. Hey Leo, how are you?
Hey, how you doing, my brother? What's going on, world? Century's in the building. S-E-N-T-U-R-Y. We in the building.
Okay, welcome to my show. Glad to have you here. And
thanks for having us, brother.
Okay, and we're looking forward to seeing some new songs coming out. As I mentioned, I got a chance to check out the music video on YouTube. It is good. I give it a
thank you, bro. Thank you.
2 big thumbs up.
Thank you.
All righty. So, as always, America doesn't know who you are. The world doesn't know who you are. So I'm very fortunate to interview you on my show. So let us begin, shall we? Now, as I said in the intro, the group is from Houston, Texas. Now, what part of Houston where you at? Is it North
We're all
Houston?
from the north side of Houston. So that's Acres Home, Texas, then Fifth Ward, Texas. So anybody know anything about Houston, they know those areas pretty well. Pretty urban areas right there. So we're all from the north side, but we represent the city of Houston: south, north, east, west, southwest, whatever. H-Town in the building.
Okay. Now, what are the age range?
Everybody's from 35 years old and up. Yes. You know, that's why we call ourselves a grown man group, you know, because we were signed to a label and we sat on a label for 10 years, man. And it just was a situation to where it was like, you know what, we need to be doing something better. So we had to go through a bunch of legal drama, this and that, because they didn't want to release us. So, but we finally got released. So now we're out independent doing it our way. So it's been going though.
Okay. So in other words, you was on a major record label. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yeah, we were signed to a major record company for a while. And a lot of times with major record companies, man, they bring in new people, different people come out. The people that originally signed us were 100% for the project. Then they bring new people in and they bring the people they sign in. So you kind of get, as they call, shelved.
Okay. That's something that we've been taking a look at for many years. When I see
Correct.
some of my favorite artists, including Alicia Keys and Sheryl Crow, They were
Right.
on the major record labels and now merging during before the pandemic, post pandemic, and
Right.
now everyone is on their own. So I just wish the group the best and hopefully
Thank you so
we'll
much.
get some more attention. Now, did you and any of your guys sing in the church choir before your?
Absolutely. We're all faith-based. All of us come out of the church. So my grandfather was the original pastor of the church. He passed away. So my uncle is the pastor of the church, and we actually all met in church previously before actually getting together as a group. So that's where our foundation is, from gospel music. 100%.
Okay, well, my condolences goes out to you, and we hope that many of our favorite singers started out in the church.
Exactly.
Everyone from Aretha Franklin, Marvin Gaye, Denise Williams, the Pointer Sisters, just to name a few, they got their foundation starting in the church and went on to superstardom.
Absolutely.
Now, who did y'all want it to be when you grow up?
Man, everybody growing up was a Michael Jackson fan, a Prince fan. We love Boys to Men, we love Jodeci, we love Drew Hill, we love 112, Jagged Edge, and anything Motown. Just we're just, I mean, far as we love gospel music, the Commissions, John P. Key, sure, just everybody. So we're fans of just music in general, but mostly gospel and R&B. That's where we get our foundation from.
Okay. Now, how old were you and all of your members started singing? How old were you when you started singing?
Probably between, I would say between 4 and 5 years old, because we all started off in the church choir. You really don't get a thought on it. It's like, hey, you're in the choir, you're in the choir, you're in the choir. So we just fell in love with it. You don't get a choice. You know how it is when you're in church. Your parents are like, look, this is what you're doing, and we just fell in love with it, and we kept going with it.
Same thing here when I was in church. I had to participate in the children's choir, and
Correct.
then I participated in the male chorus, and then I was on the junior usher board,
Yeah, yeah,
and
me.
and then later I started being deacon in training, and then I'm ordained deacon. So I haven't left. So everything is all good. Same thing here. Now, was being a singer your calling?
You know what? I would honestly have to say yes, because we all really, really, really love music. I mean, there's other things that you want to do, but at the end of the day, I mean, you fall in love with this music. You fall in love with it, and it's something that you really can't explain as an artist. I mean, even when you're away from it, like when I'm not in the studio, or I'm not writing music, or I'm not on the stage, or I'm not doing something that consumes music, you start missing it. It's kind of like a relationship. When you're in a relationship, you miss your partner, and that's how it is with music. It's something that's kind of innate in your soul. Once you're a part of it, you never let it go.
Okay. Now, growing up, who was some of your favorite classic soul and today's R&B artists?
I would say, of course, I would say Michael Jackson. I would say Prince. I would say, we listen to a lot of groups: the Boys, the Men's, the Drew Hills, the Jodeci's, the H Towns, New Editions, Stevie Wonder, anything from Motown, just anybody R&B. Of course, Jeffrey Osborne, Lionel Richie, everybody.
And who were your musical influences that had inspired you to sing?
For us being a group, probably I would say we were probably inspired more by either Boyz II Men or Jodeci, or groups like H Town, groups of that nature, New Edition. Because being in a group's a different animal, because you've got four, whether it's 4 people, 3 people, 5 people, everybody's got to get along, and you all have to coexist together. So it's a good thing being in a group if you guys can make it work.
Right. Now, who came up with the name Sentury?
I actually, so I actually came up with the name myself. We were sitting around, in the studio, and we had another name, which I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna say. And it was funny. Another group had the name too, and I was like, "Hold up, man, that's our name." So, but you know how that goes. So I just Century actually stands for mark in time. So that this is our mark in time. This is us leaving our legacy in the R&B realm.
Okay, because many people will probably think of the word with the letter C, but you
Correct.
gotta let them know with the letter S. So
Yes, sir.
that's what we got to bring for that. Now, how would you describe your sound?
I would say soulful, sultry, but very innovative. It's more like I would say progressive R&B with the vintage sound, but high energy also. Yeah, progressive R&B with that vintage sound.
Is it kind of like the mixture for grown folks music?
Yeah, that's what I call it. We call the group, people are like, "Man, boy band." I'm like, "No, maybe a few years ago." I've got some family members that are 15, 16, 17, 20, 21 years old and they love the music. So, it's for everybody. But it's definitely for a mature audience though.
Okay. Now, let's talk about your new song, Forever. And that's the video that I checked out and
Thank
it's
you.
on YouTube. So please share our audience on what that song is about.
Well, Forever is an engagement record. So our album is going to be about a story between a couple. So it's basically a love story. And that's the part that you see where that's the beginning of a relationship. Because relationship has many facets. It's the I love you part. It's the I miss you part. It's the when can I see you? It's the you know what, don't call my phone no more. You know what, I'm tired of you, but you know what, baby, I miss you. So that's the engagement part of the relationship. That's the beginning. That's when the love is just very strong. Not saying it's not strong at the end, but that's when the courtship comes in and everybody's getting to know everybody. So, and that song's it's just about getting married. It's about the beginning stages of the relationship. That's why we
Okay.
call it Forever.
All right. Perfect. And I also got a chance to look at the couple of songs. I didn't get a chance to see all of them, but I did
Right.
found some on excuse me, on iTunes as well. Now, let's talk about the remake of Jeffrey Osborne's
Right.
Only Human. Please share with our audiences what was it like doing the remake of that song?
Man, honestly, at first, I wanted to do a record that would garner attention to the R&B community. And I just was like, man, what can I do? What can I do? And I remember as a child, my mom is a big Jeffrey Osborne fan, my aunts, and I just remember riding home from just coming from anywhere, the daycare, school, and hearing that song from Jeffrey Osborne. And I happened to be in the studio one day and it came on. And I was like, man, what if I just tried to remake this song? So I was in the studio, kicked it around for a little bit, redid the track, rewrote some of the lyrics, and I actually demoed the record and I took it to the group. And they were like, I don't know about this, Leo. I was like, guys, just trust me. So we got into the studio, we recorded it a couple more times, mixed it, mastered, and I sent it to my promotions team. And my promotion team was like, Leo, let me call you back. Let me call you back. And I'm like, hey, what's going on? He calls me back the next day. He's like, Leo, we got a hit record. Like, I'm like, really? He's like, no, we sent it out to some programmers across the country. They love it. We need to go to radio with it. So that's what we did, man.
Right. Now, I mentioned some of the other songs. Well, will there be any more songs coming out later in December or in the new year of 2026?
Absolutely. So we have a Christmas record that's called This Christmas, which it'll be dropping next month, probably right before Thanksgiving. That'll be out. And we got the album's actually going to drop next year, probably first or the beginning of second quarter. We're trying to work that out right now. But no, there's one thing about Central, we're going to stay consistent and consistently drop R&B music. We'll be around.
Oh, okay. So I see you're going to be doing a remake of Donny Hathaway's This Christmas, right?
Absolutely, 100%. See, I like you. I like you. I like that. I like that. Yes, sir. 100%.
Okay. Yeah.
100%. That's a
Yeah,
hard one,
cause
but we're going to take care of it.
yes, cause when I heard the Alexander O'Neill LP, My Gift to You, the Christmas LP, at first I thought it was the original song, but when I was listening to some of the oldies radio stations, and I said, "You mean Donny Hathaway did the original version? I thought it was
Right,
Alexander O'Neill."
right. Yeah,
Oh,
Donna
okay.
Hathaway, he was a genius, man. He's the R.I.P. He was a genius.
Yes, so now I see we got the original version of Donny Hathaway, then you got the one from Alexander O'Neill, then you got some of the other artists are doing their version of This Christmas. Okay, so
Correct.
now I'm learning because everybody's favorite song, they don't want to touch it, they want, some new stuff, but I'm very delighted that you're keeping the tradition of
You know,
alive.
when you're doing remakes like that, man, you just got to be careful and treat the song with care. You got to treat it with care. And then what I don't try to do is I don't try to reinvent the wheel. I try to match it close to I can as the vocals, but still put the Century sauce on top of it. But at the same time, keep the elements of the original recording. So, because when people hear, let's say my mom or my grandmother hear, I still want it to resonate with them also. So we don't try to change it too much. Just try to do it our way and make it pleasant for the audience.
Okay, good. Now, here's a question that I always ask my guests, living or dead. Which artist or group that you wish you wanted to meet or to perform with?
I would, you know what? I'm a big fan of. Of course, Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson. I would love to get in a time machine and go hang out with the classic five of the Temptations. I would love to go hang out with David Ruffin and the rest of the guys and just hang out, just be backstage or go to dinner with them after a show. I would love to go hang out with the classic five of the Temptations.
Okay. Now, here on the Black Soul Music Experience, I always ask my guests who are the top 10 R&B black artists of all time. But since I
Woo!
have you, Leo, we're going to be doing the Black Soul Music Experience top 10 today's hip hop and R&B artists of all time. Now, here's how it
Woo!
works. We do it like a top 10 countdown, like the show America's Top 10, hosted by the late Casey Kasem. And we will
Right,
start by the bottom five. We will find out who was the best singer but didn't get any recognition. In other words, they were the best singers, but the record label that they were on didn't market them or promote them.
correct,
Now we
correct.
get
I
to,
been there, done that.
yes. And then when we get to the top five, we will find out who were the best singers of all time, who were the ones that had the top 10 number one hits, which artists had received a gold or platinum or double platinum or triple platinum or today's diamond platinum. Did that artist receive a Grammy Award, an American Music Award, a Soul
Right,
Train Award, a BET Award, or an MTV VMA Award? Did that artist got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Or did that artist perform the American Bandstand, or Soul Train, or the Midnight Special, or NBC Saturday Night Live, or Solid Gold? Or did that artist have their prime time special, whether it was on CBS or NBC or ABC? Or did they had that special on PBS, whether it's on Great Performances or they had that special during Pledge Month? Or did they have their music video, whether it was aired on BET or MTV or VH1 or any of the local video shows across the country? Or did they have that live concert special live on HBO and Showtime? So Leo, are you ready to take the challenge?
and you know what? I'm gonna do my best, man. As an artist, I really don't compare. It's kind of hard, but I will be gentle with this one. I've got my
Oh,
top two, so my top two or
okay.
three.
All right. And if you get stuck, I'll help you out and fill you in. So we'll
Let's
start
go.
at number. All right. We'll start at number 10.
Okay, so you want me to answer that part?
Yeah.
Man, oh my gosh. Oh man, that ain't fair. Oh, oh. So it has to be a person, not a group, right?
It could be a person or a group
I'll
or.
say I'll go New Edition.
All right, New Edition came on the scene back in 1983 with their debut LP, Candy Girl. They had a couple of hits, including Candy Girl, Is This the End, Popcorn Love, and Jealous. Produced by Maurice Starr. You had all them guys, Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, Mike, and Ralph had their first LP on an independent label and then moved in 1984. They were on a major record label. They were on the MCA Universal label. Had more hits, various producers. You had their second self-titled album, New Edition, where they had Cool It Now, and they had Mr. Tele, and they had Mr.
Yeah.
Now, yeah,
Yeah,
and they
I got
had,
to lose control. Good
yep,
now. Yeah,
let me
yeah,
slow
okay.
it down. And they
So
had,
yeah.
yep, and they had their second one, Mr. Telephone Man, written by Ray Parker Jr. And I saw the video, and yep, at the telephone booth, yep, one of my favorites too. And after, when I was watching Solid Gold, and they were had that new song called Count Me Out, and I saw, where's Bobby Brown? What are they, five? Now they're down to four? And I found out later that Bobby Brown left the group and went on solo. So that's when they had to get Johnny Gill to New Edition, all five featuring Johnny Gill, and they had other LPs from Any Heartbreak, including If It Isn't Love and some other tunes. I'm telling you, New Edition has kept on going, reuniting and everything.
Yeah,
So we're gonna put
really
New
good guys.
Edition, yes, New Edition at number 10. All right, we're up to number 9.
Well, okay. I've got to give birth to the guys that New Edition birth. I got to go Boys to Men.
Okay, Boys to Men coming out of Philly, PA, and it was produced and discovered by Michael Bivins of New Edition and BBD. Has his own record label, Biv 10, and Boys to Men came on the scene in 1991 with their debut LP, Cooley High Harmony, with their debut hit, Motown Philly. I saw the music video for their old childhood in Philly, and they did the remake of G.C. Cameron's It's So Hard to Say Goodbye to Yesterday. They did it their way, straight a cappella. I saw the video, kind of relates to the movie Cooley High when you see that scene when doing that to all the brothers who aren't here. Same scenario from that movie. And they went on to get some other hits. The other song that I liked was A Song for Mama. That's from the movie
Oh
Soul
yeah,
Food.
yeah, yeah.
That's a perfect Mother's Day song for that. And they had some other hits as follows. So Boys to Men are still performing even though they're no longer on a major record label. But hats off to Boys to Men, and we'll put them at number 9. Who should be at number 8?
That's a tough one. Hold on. Let me see who I want to go with on that. I probably got to. I'm gonna go with another group. I'm gonna go Classic Five, Temptations.
Okay, the Temptations made their debut in 1963 with their hit The Way You Do the Things You Do with Eddie Kendricks on lead. And you had some other tracks with different singers, David Ruffin and Paul Williams and Melvin Franklin. You were born to rule. Yep, one with the low voice. So they had string of hits, number one hits, including My Girl, Papa Was a Rolling Stone, Treat Her Like a Lady, just to name a few. Although there were some lead singers come and go, David Ruffin, Dennis Edwards, Ali Woodson, and then you had some other singers on different tracks, including Eddie Kendricks and Richard Street, just to name a few. They had some other hits during the 70s and 80s. Even though most of the members are no longer with us, but
Right.
Otis Williams is still with us with some new faces. So we'll put the Temptations at number 8, inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for the class of 1989.
Correct.
All right, who should be at number 7?
Oh man, I'm probably gonna go. I'm gonna okay, we're going vocals. I'm gonna have to. We're number 7. I'm gonna probably have to go. Maybe probably Peebo Bryson.
Peebo. Yes, Peebo Bryson made his debut back in 1977, with his LP Reaching for the Sky, and had the song called Feel the Fire. I didn't know that Peebo Bryson did that song. At first, I thought it was Stephanie Mills, but then when I found out who wrote the song, Peebo Bryson, I said, let me play that song. Okay, Peebo Bryson, Feel the Fire, and he had some other tunes, including Crosswinds, I'm So Into You, Let the Feeling Flow. He did some duets with the late Natalie Cole and the late Roberta Flack. And he was on the Capitol label, and then 1984 he was on the Elektra label with his top 10 hit, If Ever You're in My Arms Again.
Right.
Wow, a lovely slow jam. And kept performing. So we're going to put Peebo Bryson at number 7. All right, we're up to number 6.
I'm gonna have to go. And I hate. I'm gonna have to go Patti LaBelle.
Patti LaBelle, representing Philly, PA, lead singer of Patti LaBelle and the Bluebells, which had Nona Hendrix, the late Sarah Dash, and Cindy Birdsong, who later had to replace the late Florence Ballard with the Supremes. So you're down to Patti and Sarah and Nona. They were performing during the late 60s, and then by 1970 teamed up with the late Laura Nyro. And then by 1974, it was all LaBelle with their smash breakthrough LP, Nighthawks. And when I saw them performing on Soul Train, it was like they were in their outrageous space outfits, space wardrobes. I was like,
Wow.
out of space, Afrofuturism. Had their number 1 hit, Lady Marmalade, and then had some other ones, including Get You Somebody New, Ain't That a Shame, and many others. And then they all parted ways, and Patti LaBelle kept performing with some of her hits, including Music Is My Life, and her 2 top 10 hits, including Love and Need and Want You, and her number 1 hit, If Only You Knew, on the Philadelphia International CBS label. And then by 1985, she moved to the MCA Universal label, did a song called Stir It Up from the Beverly Hills Cop soundtrack, had other number 1 hits, including On My Own with Michael McDonald, and had some other tunes, including Please Come Back and Kiss Away the Pain. But when I saw her on Motown Returns the Apollo on NBC, something was weird. When I saw her perform on stage, at first, what was she wearing? Was she wearing a hat? And then I saw her, it's her hair. I'm looking at, look at that hair.
Hey, that's artistry. We do as artists, we do some weird things at times. So that's just artistry.
Yeah, I was like, what did she did to her hair? Like, just like you said, artistry. And when I saw Patti LaBelle in 2002 at the Hampton Jazz Festival with my church members at the Hampton Coliseum in Hampton, Virginia, we were sitting all the way up. I mean, way up in the balcony, just making sure that nobody doesn't get hit by the chute. So when you know how
Wow.
Patty is, when she goes out, kick off her shoe and like, I said to myself, I want to get that shoe. Please give me that shoe. And she'll be best known for that. So, yes. So Patti LaBelle, we know you're still kicking. So we'll put Patti LaBelle at number 6. All right, who should up be at number 5?
H-Town's own Beyonce and Destiny Child. We got to give Beyonce and Destiny Child.
All right, Beyonce, founder of Destiny's Child, made a debut in 1998 along with her other members Kelly Rowland, Latavia, and Latoya. Had some debut hits including No, 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 No. I wanna say
Yes,
yeah,
I
yeah,
still sing
yeah,
it to this
yeah,
day.
yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, no,
Yep.
no, no, no. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, big
Yes.
fans.
Uh-huh. And they had some other tunes, including Bugaboo and The Writings on the Wall, Bills, 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 and their top 10 hit, Independent Woman from the movie
Yep.
Charlie's Angels in 2000. And then Beyonce went on her own 2003 solo album, Dangerously Crazy in Love, and follow up with some other hits, including Me, Myself, and I, and her other LP, Lemonade, which include the song Daddy's Lessons, which was a country song, and she performed it with the Chicks, better known as the Dixie Chicks, performed at, I think it was either the American Music Awards or the
Yeah.
CMA Awards.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you, there was a lot of backlash from those country music bands and saying, why is Beyonce performing a country song with the Chicks? You should be back in your R&B hip hop
We
world,
started
not no
country
country
music.
music. Yes.
Charlie
And
Pride.
speak Yes. And
Yeah.
speaking of that, with her country album, Cowboy Carter, number 1 on Billboard's Top 200 album charts and number 1 on Billboard's country album charts. It was
Undeniable, one of the
nominated.
greatest artists of our time.
Yes, she won a Grammy Award for Best Album, and from that song, a duet with Miley Cyrus, also from that album. I could never believe that she got that country album. I was watching the Grammy Awards, and Taylor Swift was reading the nomination, and the winner is Cowboy Carter, Beyonce. I was like, yay! We
Exactly. Yeah, man.
finally got
Yeah,
our dues.
we did.
So, yes. So we're putting Beyonce and Destiny's Child at number 5. Who should be at number 4?
Number 4. Hold on. Number 4 is gonna be the late great Miss Whitney Houston.
Ah, the Princess of Pop, Whitney Houston, representing East Orange, New Jersey. Her mother is the late Cissy Houston, and her cousin is Dionne Warwick and Dee Dee Warwick. And yes, she came on the scene back in 1985 with a duet with the late Teddy Pendergrass, Hold Me in Your Arms Tonight. And then by the spring of 1985, her debut self-titled LP sold over 1 million copies in print. I saw the first music video, You Give Good Love, written and produced by Kashif. She won an American Music Award and a Grammy Award for Best New Artist, for Best New Album.
Yeah, that's my
She
mom's
has,
favorite. My mom loves her. Oh my gosh, she's a Whitney Houston fan. That
yes,
is her. That is her. That's who
and
she is.
other, yes, and other hits followed, including Saving All My Love and the remake
Saving
of the
all my
greatest.
love for you. Yeah. Wow.
Yes, and her remake of George Benson's The Greatest Love of all of her number 1 hits, and her second LP, Whitney, with her instant hit, Oh, I Wanna Dance with Somebody.
Somebody. I wanna
And
move with some. There's another one I like. Whatever. What is that? Whatever you want from me, giving
I'm Your
you
Baby Tonight.
ecstasy. Oh,
Yes,
your baby tonight. Whoa,
yeah,
ooh, I like that one. Oh,
yes.
boy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love that, man.
Yeah, best
Yeah.
song ever. And yes, she performed at Super Bowl 25, January
Woo.
1991. That was the time when all of our troops were in Iran, Operation Desert Storm. She did her version of the national anthem. And let me tell you, it was her version, uplifting and empowering. And the next day, Arista Records had sent out the single the next day. There's this version of the Star Spangled Banner. And while I was watching VH1's 100 Greatest Rock and Roll Moments that appeared on television,
Right.
they had that at number 60. It was the best version of the Star Spangled Banner.
100%, man. That's pure. She's a pure vocalist, man. Just
Yes.
right.
And made her acting debut. She was in the movie The Bodyguard,
Yeah, I remember
Waiting
that.
to Exhale, and the remake of The Preacher's Wife, originally known The Bishop's Wife, and her final scene was the remake of Sparkle. She made some TV appearances. She was on an episode of NBC Saturday Night Live with that Christmas skit back in December of 1996, and the guest host was Rosie O'Donnell and the late Penny Marshall. Love that skit with that everything. So we'll put Whitney Houston at number 4, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for the class of 2020. We're up to number 3,
Stevie Wonder.
Stevie Wonder, American Music Award winner, Grammy Award winner, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductee for the class of 1989, Kennedy Center honoree for the class of 1999, and an Oscar winner too. Number 1 hits out of the 60s and 70s
Yep.
and 80s. And
Yep.
you'll be best remembered for that Happy Birthday song dedicated to the late Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And he's been struggling to Congress to make Dr. King Day a national holiday. So, gotta give it up for Stevie Wonder. We put him at number 3. Who should be at number 2?
Mr. Prince. Mr.
Prince, the one and only Prince, came on the scene with his hits I Wanna Be Your Lover and Purple Rain, 1999, Kiss, and wow, all of them hits. And mostly some of his hits, like Do Me Baby and Nothing Compares to You and Manic Monday and I Feel For You, didn't become hits for him, but they became hits for others. I
Right.
Feel For You,
Right.
top 10
Right.
for
Right.
Shaka
Right. Right.
Khan.
Agreed.
Nothing Compares to You, top 10 hit for the late Sinead O'Connor. And Manic Monday, top 10 hit for the Bangles. And Do Me Baby, number 1 hit for Melissa Morgan. So he did it all. Sing, plays all the musical instruments.
Genius,
He
man.
wears his trademark purple all over.
Genius.
Yes. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductee for the class of 2004. So rest in peace to the one and only Prince. All right, we're up to number 1.
Well, without further ado, you know who that is. Mr. MJ himself.
Oh, yes, Michael Jackson coming out of Gary, Indiana. Toured with his brothers, made their debut in 1969 with their number 1 hit, I Want You Back. And he had some other hits follows, including ABC, The Love You Save, Never Can Say Goodbye, Dancing Machine. And while in between, Michael had some solo LPs, including Got to Be There. He did the theme song from the movie Ben and other hits, including Just a Little Bit of You. And then all of his brothers, except for Jermaine, switched over to CBS Records. They had their title song, The Jacksons, with their hit Enjoy Yourself and Show Me the Way
Enjoy
to
yourself.
Go.
Yeah, I just heard that the other day on my playlist. Yeah, oh my gosh.
Yes. And at the same time, they had their own summer variety series on CBS. So they brought their sisters along with them too. And after they went on to real superstardom, they had their other songs, Shake Your Body Now, Down to the Ground. Michael had some more solo hits with Quincy Jones, Off the Wall. Had a couple of hits, Off the Wall, Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, and Rock With You. His second one, Thriller, which
Mm,
had Thriller, Beat It, You Wanna Be Starving Something, and
wow.
Billie Jean, number 1 on Billboard's R&B black singles charts for 10 weeks back in February of 1983. And and the other song that I liked, which then became a hit, was called "The Lady in My Life." That was the best love ballad that I like. And Michael swept the night at the 1984 American Music Awards. He won everything for best
Right.
pop, best soul R&B,
He
music
did.
video, and award of merit. And other albums, including Bad, which he had the music video, Bad, with an upcoming actor, Wesley Snipes. They did the music video at Bed-Stuy section of Brooklyn, directed by Martin Scorsese. And the
Wow.
other music video, Thriller, another 15-minute video with Playmate Ola Ray and narration by the late Vincent Price. And then you had another video called Black and White, cameo appearances by Macaulay Culkin and Tess Harper and another bad creation. That was aired on Fox. 15 minutes, the whole thing. But they had to tone down the other scene, the crotch thing. But they had
Yeah,
to tone it
yeah.
down and put it on MTV and BET and VH1. And another video, Remember the Time,
That's one
also
of my
aired on
favorites.
Fox,
Yeah. Yeah. It's one. Eddie Murphy,
directed by
Magic Johnson. Yeah.
and
John
Iman.
Singletary.
Yes.
Yes. He
Let
was
me
good.
tell you, Michael Jackson was influenced by the movies. He made those 15-minute music videos. Been
Yeah.
inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame twice, one with his brothers in 1997 and on solo in 2001. He kept performing. His last one was called This Is It. That was a concert movie and is also the last song he did before he passed away in June of 2009. So Michael has swept everything. Been adored by fans all
Like number
around the
one.
world, from the
Number one.
U.S., all around the world.
Number
So
one.
rest in peace to the king of pop, Michael Jackson. And yes, Michael was influenced by the godfather of soul, the late James Brown.
Yeah, I got to do honorable
And
mentions too. James Brown, Aretha Franklin, my boys Jodeci, all my guys from the '90s, 112, Drew Hill, Jagged Edge. It's really hard to do a top 10 list, man. That's why I just hit on the people that you know. I mean, the stats, they don't lie. The stats tell the story. So, but I
yes,
hope then I'd have to do a top 10 for gospel. We'll do that the next time.
right. So, Leo, thank you so much for being here on the Black Soul
Thank you
Music
for having us,
Experience
brother.
podcast. It's a pleasure talking with you. Good luck to the songs that we just mentioned. Continued success. And you're welcome to come on back and we can do another episode. We can do gospel and everything. So
Man,
thank you so much.
brother Samuel, I'll be honest. I've done a lot of interviews, man. You're I mean, I know you probably you're very vast and very informative with the artists. That's very impressive. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much, man. I like that.
Thank you. You're welcome. Now, before we go, where can we follow you on social media?
You guys can follow us on social media. Real simple. Sentury Music. Century Music on Instagram, TikTok, on every social media situation, Century Music. Now, it might be a few fake ones, but if you don't see the blue check, it's not us.
Okay. Download all the artists that we have talked about on this edition of the Black Soul Music Experience podcast. Visit iTunes.com, Spotify.com, or purchase a CD at Amazon.com. And make sure you follow the group Sentury. That spells Sentury. Look for
Exactly.
them on Instagram under Sentury Music and look for them on TikTok. And make sure you check out all of their music videos airing right now on YouTube and check out some of their new songs streaming right now on iTunes. And ladies and gentlemen, if you want to check out this episode, please subscribe to the Black Soul Music Experience podcast, where you can find me on all of my 5 platforms. You can look for me on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and Pocket Cast. The link is riverside.fm/studio/Samuel-Wilson Jr.'s. Don't forget to add the S at the end, dash studio. And yes, I will be posting this episode on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And if you have a hard time getting on to Riverside.fm, then please
Download it.
become a member and subscribe to patreon.com/the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast. Log on to the Patreon homepage, put in your email address and your password, where you see all of the different shows by different creators. And make sure you go to the top and type in the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast, where you can check out all of my audio and video podcast shows and all of my video podcast clips that you may have missed. And if you have a hard time getting on to Patreon, then I will be posting this episode on YouTube. Go to youtube.com/the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast. All you need to do is go to the YouTube homepage and type in the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast. If you like this episode, if you love my podcast, please subscribe, please support, please give me a thumbs up, please leave a comment, and please pass it on. Thank you for joining me as I close out this edition of the Black Soul Music Experience. Well, that's about it for this edition of the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast. I'm Sam Wilson Jr. Thank you for joining me, and please tune in next week for an all-new episode. The Black Soul Music Experience Podcast is sponsored by the support of listeners and viewers like you. If you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe to the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast. Look for my podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and Pocket Cast. And don't forget the link. The link is riverside.fm/studio/Samuel-Wilson Jr.'s-studio. And don't forget to check out my audio and video podcast episodes by becoming a member and subscribe to patreon.com/the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast. And please check out my video podcast episodes by subscribing to youtube.com/the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast. And please leave your comments, feedbacks, and replies by going to my Facebook homepage. Go to facebook.com/the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast. You can also tweet me on X, aka Twitter, at Sam Wilson Jr. 66, and follow me on Instagram at SAMM.Y2980. As always, partying, remember this: reach for the top and your dreams will come true, and it can happen to you. From all of us, take care, God bless, thanks for listening, have a good week, and please be safe.